Hello, aspiring React developers. Today, we're embarking on an exciting journey to learn about integrating Redux Thunk in a React application. This tutorial will help you understand how to manage the application's state in a more sophisticated and structured way, especially when dealing with asynchronous operations like API requests using Axios. We'll create a form to store user details such as first name, last name, email, and telephone number, and then display these details in a separate component. Moreover, we'll explore sending this data to a fictional server endpoint asynchronously while persisting it in the Redux store. By the end of this tutorial, you'll gain deeper insights into state management and asynchronous actions in React applications. Now let's dive into the code. We start by importing necessary modules from Redux Thunk, and Axios. Redux Thunk is middleware that allows us to write action creators that return a function instead of an action. This is crucial for handling asynchronous operations within our actions. The set_user_details. Constant represents the action type we will dispatch to update the user details in our Redux store. Defining such constants helps in avoiding typos and makes our code more manageable. In setUserDetails, we define an action creator that returns an action object containing the type and payload. The payload will be the user details that we want to store in our Redux state. The saveUserDetails function is a Thunk action creator. Unlike regular action creators, Thunk action creators return a function that accepts the dispatch method. Inside this function, we perform the asynchronous operation, sending the user details to a server endpoint using Axios. Upon successful completion of the request, we dispatch setUserDetails to update our store with the response data. The initial state object represents the initial state of our user details in the store. It includes default values for the first name, last name, email, and telephone fields. The user details reducer is a function that takes the current state and an action as arguments and returns the new state. Depending on the action type, it updates the state with the new user details provided in the action's payload. We create our Redux store using createStore, passing in the user details reducer, and applying the Thunk middleware using apply middleware. This setup is essential for enabling Redux Thunk in our application. In the React component user details form, we connect the component to the Redux store using the connect function from React Redux. This connection allows us to access the state and dispatch actions directly from our component. We map the state and save user details Thunk action creator to the component's props, enabling us to submit the user details form and dispatch the action to save these details to the store and send them to the server. The mapState2props function takes the entire Redux store state and returns an object of data this component needs. Here, it's returning the current user details so the component can display them. mapDispatch2props is used to bind the saveUserDetails action creator to the Redux store dispatch function. This binding allows us to call this .props.saveUserDetails user details to dispatch the action. In this tutorial, we've explored how to use Redux Thunk in React applications to handle asynchronous actions like API calls with Axios. We've seen how Thunk allows our action creators to return functions instead of action objects, giving us the flexibility to execute asynchronous operations and dispatch actions when the operation's complete. This pattern enhances the extensibility of our application by allowing us to add more asynchronous actions as our app grows. The use of Redux and Thunk together also improves the reusability of our logic by encapsulating actions and state management outside of our React components. Finally, by managing state outside of the UI layer, we improve the efficiency of our application, as React components re-render only when necessary. Thanks for watching, everyone, and don't worry if you missed anything. We've added a link to the source code in the description. If you found this video to be helpful, please like and subscribe for more of the same. Thanks again, and remember, we're always learning. So keep coding, keep exploring, and keep building amazing web applications.